What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to the call-in show. Hopefully everyone is doing all right. Sorry for my tardiness. I got pretty caught up with work, and work is work, the game's the game, life is life, and all of the above. So big up to every single one of you. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Be sure to also check out the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. Links in the description. Hype up the video if you have some high points to use. If you're hyped up because you're here. Because I don't think you're going to hype it up because you're happy with what happened yesterday. But we're going to talk about that as well as all things related to Chelsea. Probably preview a little bit of the game coming up. So by all means, ladies and gents, if you are new here, this is how it usually works. I'll say this right now off the cuff. Ladies and gents, if you're going to come in and do a call in, you're going to do the call and all that stuff, be sure to, please make sure your microphone is working. If you have a camera, please set that up as well. All that fun stuff. And also be sure to click the link. The link is above the chat. It's pinned to the chat or it's in the description. I start to let people in maybe 15, 20, well, guess in 15, 20 minutes into the show. So bear with me as I kind of set up the narrative, this discussion points, obviously panel, come on in whenever you want to, guys, whenever you guys want to come on in. But yeah, whew, all that out of the way. Yeah, it's big up RSM. Be sure to check out RSM's channel, people, if you haven't done so already. Hyped up to see Tosin leave my club. Was there news that came out today that apparently Tosin is leaving Chelsea? Because that'd be phenomenal. Let me take a quick glance over on X because I haven't checked all day. I've been working, like I said, people. But hopefully you guys are doing okay, and hopefully you guys have been doing all right. Who played today, actually, real quick? Just quick side tangent.
Oh my god, bro, I'm a joke. Oh my god, bro, we're a joke, bro. We're a joke. We're a joke. We're a joke. We're a joke. Wallahi, we're a joke, bro.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I saw one result, and that's all I needed to see. My reaction should tell you everything, people. West Ham! Hey, West Ham! West Ham, let's go! West Ham, who are currently in relegation, right? I'm pretty sure they're in relegation form. I'm pretty sure they're in the relegation zone. Yeah, they are. They're 18th. They're 2 points behind Leeds. Leeds! Oh, yeah, Leeds. Yeah, Leeds. That team. All right. Well, people, the long and short of it is I'm fine. It's okay. I mean, listen, it's not pleasant. Obviously, you want your team. I'm taking the hat off. You want your team and the scarf, honestly, and the jacket. It's actually finally warm in here. Ladies and gents, the reality of the situation is that, yeah, we're going to fucking lose games. And I know we can't afford to lose games because we didn't necessarily start the season off very well. But what I will say is that Leeds is a bogey ground. And I looked into it because I swear, like, that didn't come out of nowhere. I know there's history to it. And yesterday when Scott told me, oh, yeah, no, we won before that with Tuchel. We're fine. Like, I looked deeper into it after the stream. Obviously, I'm hosting. I can't research everything on the spot. I'm not that good with it. But after doing some research, turns out we have like a 12.7% win rate against Leeds. So Ellen Road is just a bogey ground for Chelsea. So, like, it's not that I'm happy we lost. Obviously not. And I'm not like, yeah, it's fine. Like, no, obviously it's not fine. We have to win. And this isn't necessarily like a juggernaut team, right? But, I mean, we said that about freaking United and look what happened. But the thing is, it's just one of those situations where the team has to do better. The team has to do better. Sorry, I'm sidetracked here. The team has to do better. And you could understand, like, it's a bogey ground, kind of like how St. James's Park is. So once you put that into your head, it's kind of like, oh, it's like you don't want to accept it, but at the same time, you're like, we're not over this BS. The same thing goes with United. Where, like, after that United game, like, I was pissed. I was definitely pissed. But I came to terms with the fact, like, okay, this is just one of those curses that's not going to happen. Listen, Arsenal have, I would say, a recent curse coming up in Aston Villa. That's the we. Which, by the way, people, Aston Villa are in third place. I don't know if anyone's paying attention. They were in the relegation zone like a month ago. So how they have just completely climbed the league in the span of a month is something that Unai Emery needs to be studied. I can't lie. Unai Emery is low-key needs to be studied. But, man, this guy. I mean, I expect to fall off at the end of the season for them because they're probably going to be too focused on trying to juggle Europe and Premier League. But regardless, like, you got to give kudos and you got to hope that they have something for us because Arsenal's next few games, let me read you out their schedule. It's not a bad schedule, but it's not like a walk in the park either. To be fair, most Premier League games are not a walk in the park unless you're Chelsea. Aston Villa is their next game on Saturday. That's a big game. That's an early game too. I'm sorry. I want to watch it, but I'll not wake up for that. Not 7:30 in the morning. You're not catching me waking up at 7:30 in the morning on Saturday unless it's Chelsea. Up to Chelsea. Actually, this calls for this. Where is it? Where is it? No, my comedic timing has now been ruined. Oh, here it is.
Hurry up. Chelsea plays in 1 minute.
Yeah, that's me when I wake up to watch Chelsea on a Saturday, fucking lunch kickoff, whatever, noon kickoff. So it's ridiculous. Anyways, Aston Villa, Arsenal. There's that. Then they play Club Brugge. Club Brugge had something to say to Barcelona. Let's see if... I doubt they'll have something to say for Arsenal, but let's see if they do. And that's in Champions League. Wolves, I mean, come on. If you don't beat Wolves, then what are we doing? Everton, Jack Grealish could have something for them. Brighton's been a low-key, a bogey team for them as well. They have Crystal Palace in the quarterfinal of the EFL Cup. Like, Aston Villa again. Yo, they got to do the Aston Villa double in the month. Just like how we have to do Bournemouth double in a month. We got, guys, if you don't know, we have Bournemouth this Saturday and we have Bournemouth on the 30th. It's the same thing with Arsenal. Arsenal have Villa on this Saturday and then they have Villa on the 30th. It's kind of wild. Kind of wild. But, yeah, so there's a lot of games where obviously something could happen, right? This is the time of year where things start to happen. And I know Ellen Road is a bogey ground. That's why I'm more confident that Bournemouth will have something for them. But This is definitely a stat that came out, by the way. Marshall, since Caicedo joined, we have a 25% win rate when he doesn't play. So if Caicedo doesn't play 10 games, that means, yo, am I low? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's, no, 25. Yes, 25. So I do 2.5 games. Whatever. For the sake of math, 2.5 of those games we win. The rest of them we don't. So what? 2 games in a draw. There you go. If that counts as a 2.5 when we're talking about games. But yeah. Brighton have been a bit smelly. Yeah, they have been, but that's not to say they're going to stay that way. They go through their patches, just like Bournemouth went through their hot patch in the beginning of the season, and now they're going through a pretty low patch going into this Saturday's kickoff. So it's going to be something to hopefully take advantage of. Chelsea, please don't be Charity FC. That's the thing, guys. Like, I really want to believe that we're past this whole December thing, but until I see it, I can't actually back it. I really would like to see, because we have depth now. The thing, unlike last season, right? Last season, we were running on fumes. Like, towards the end of December, we were praying that Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez wouldn't even get a knock. Because them going out with injury, our team just falls apart. So now going into this, right, we actually have midfield depth, right? And Andre Santos. Isugo got set back a bit, but he's on his way back in. Palmer just came back, so he's going to be fit for that time. You could hope, unless something freakish happens, knock on wood. And Lavia is set to come back at any point. Listen, say what you want about Lavia. Who knows? Maybe he actually does come back and stays fit for at least a month or 2 before he gets hurt again or something. I don't know. Whatever games I can get out of Lavia at this point, I'll take it. I'll take it. And you will take it as well. I know you would. So I know, Coco. I know. I'm the same way. I really. Hey, if you can, hey, Dortmund, we want back Anselmino, but I know you're going to need someone to, like, take his place. So if you want, I'm just saying, if you want, I got someone annoying for you.
Annoying, he's just annoying.
You do find him annoying, I don't think.
We both find him annoying. Just comes in and just talks.
I need to get a better Tosin clip. And to be fair, I do have a Tosin clip, but I have to get to work on it. I do have new clips, people. But, bro, if January comes and Tosin ends up getting sold and we bring in Anselmino,
I feel this feeling when you score.
Yeah.
No? It's like good feeling, so yeah, I like it.
it's a good feeling. It'll be a good feeling if he goes. Because, ladies and gents, I got to show you some numbers. And let's kick off this show with a little bit of, I guess, of a wake-up call. Because, listen, I was shooting from the hip yesterday when I said, like, there is a common denominator in these games that we lose, right? And I kind of just felt that Tosin has been the main culprit behind a lot of these bad, or not the main culprit, but he's been involved in a lot of these bad games, right? In the beginning, Tosin, Chalobah, we were wringing them to death. Chalobah and Tosin alike, 100%. And Chalobah would have a good game, and then he would have a shit game. Tosin would have one good game, and then he just never had a good game since, actually, to be fair. So he's just been shit the whole time. He's just been shit, bro. And then I realized, and this was solidified for me, thanks to VDYK CFC, Vidic CFC. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Apologies if I butchered it. Pointed this out. Since the Sunderland game, with Tosin, we played 5 games, won 2 of them, drew 1 of them, lost 2 of them, and we conceded 9 goals. 9 goals, people. Now, versus Sunderland, Wolves, Qarabag, Burnley, and Leeds. So Sunderland, we lost. Tosin was in there. Wolves, we won, but Tosin was also. That was the no. That was the league Wolves game. Qarabag, Burnley, Leeds. Oh, so this is. Oh, okay. Since the Sunderland game. Okay, I misread that wrong, guys. Sorry. So these games right here had Tosin involved in it. And this is Wolves in the league. Champions League against Qarabag, Wolves in the League Cup, Burnley, Leeds, Sunderland, right? Leaving it. Those are the 5 games we played with Tosin in the lineup. This is the stats, people. 9 goals conceded when Tosin's in the lineup. When Tosin is not in the lineup, so the 4 games we've played, Wolves, Barcelona, Arsenal, and Spurs. 3 wins, 1 draw. The draw was against Arsenal. And 1 goal conceded. In those 4 games, we only conceded 1 goal. And people, it's no coincidence that when Tosin isn't playing with Chalobah, Chalobah's level actually steps up. Mind you, I still have criticism of Chalobah this season. Don't get me wrong. I still feel that he has that just bozo moment in him. Like he's going to give you he's not like ass speed level of consistent, right? He's more of like, he'll give you a good run of games, but then he'll give you the bad game like at least once a month kind of thing, right? Like that's the rate of performance that I feel Chalobah could be at. Big up Bridge Nation. But when it comes to Tosin, this season specifically, there was 1 good game and everything else has been generally a bad game. Generally a bad game. We won this game against Wolves in the League Cup, but we conceded 3 goals. We remember how ridiculous Tosin looked in that game. The game against Sunderland. Who could forget? And mind you, Chalobah's also at fault for this one too, right? But who could forget? The Unk Tosin up 1v1 with the Sunderland attacker. 7 seconds on the ball. Nothing. Just hold up your man. Just hold up your man on your penalty box. Wait for Sunderland to bring in more attack because we want it to be more difficult before you decide to engage. Yeah, that was Tosin behind that too. Tosin comes out of the lineup against Spurs. Boom. Tosin comes back into the lineup against Qarabag. Boom. 2-2 against Qarabag. Tosin leaves the lineup again against Wolves. On the comeback. Nope. We keep a clean sheet this time. And we scored 3 goals. Tosin had 1 good game here. If that. And I was against Burnley. Chelsea win 2-0 against Burnley. Tosin was involved. And we didn't see any goals. Then Tosin isn't there for Barcelona. We keep a clean sheet against Barca, who have a very, very talented attack. We know this. Against Arsenal, a very tough side with good attackers. Good. It's just overall well-balanced side. No Tosin. No problem. We went down to 10 men. That was the problem. But if we had stayed with 11 men, I think even Ahmed here will tell you we could have won that game.
Against who? Sorry, mate.
Arsenal.
That's
And
not true,
then
mate. That's
we come
false.
back to
That's false
Leeds.
allegations. That's false allegations. It's
We
personally.
come back to Leeds, and here we are. Now, again, I don't know about you guys, chat, but I just seem to see here what the common denominator is, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. Ahmed, am I fair in pointing out that Tosin is the common denominator in this team?
I just
And to
don't
be
think
fair,
it's-
Ahmed's been calling it since day one. I
think
defended Tosin in the beginning, and now I've seen the light.
I think for me, and I think you've had my opinion before, Marshall. I think Tosin because you face a lot of lower league sides with Tosin. I am of the opinion it's not just Tosin though. I think right now the problem at Chelsea is not just what some might say is a Tosin problem, if that makes sense. It's like Tosin is a part of the problem, but
Sure.
my main thing really has always been that it's more than just Tosin, if that makes sense. It's more than just Tosin, right? You've got what's it called? Tosin himself, who's extremely weak in defense. But if you look at the games that we play with Tosin, the way we usually play, and I think I've said this before, it's the approach we take with a lot of the games that we play with Tosin. That's my problem actually. Not necessarily when I mean approach, I'm not criticizing the manager here. I'm also criticizing the way that the players start the game. Let's look at for example the game where Tosin came on, which obviously led to conceding a goal against like Sunderland, right?
Sure.
Do you remember how we came out in that game? We looked tired, we looked lethargic, we didn't really feel like we wanted to be there. There was no energy from the team, there was no fight, there was no drive from the team, right? And I feel like there's been a couple of games now, particularly these lower sides, where the motivation from the player perspective for me is another problem, bro. Like before we even get to Tosin, right? It's about how we like bring ourselves to these teams, which I actually think is also like a much bigger problem than just Tosin alone. That makes sense.
That is, in part, I agree with it. I don't completely disagree with that. I think mentality is part of a symptom here. However, the part where I somewhat disagree is I can understand that for midfielders and to an extent attackers. When it comes to defenders, I feel like the job doesn't require as much intensity as much as it requires focus, right? And I don't know, when you're defending another player and you gauge onto like, okay, this is how he's going to be, this is how physical he's going to be, this is what I have ahead of me for 90 minutes now. I feel like it doesn't give you much of a choice but to turn it on and be consistent in terms of like mentality. I have to defend this. I have to keep a clean sheet. Mentality wise, like Sanchez, I'm not going to sit here and say Sanchez didn't have the mentality that night, because to be fair to him, every time we scored a goal, he looked furious, absolutely furious. And that tells me like he's part of that back line, but his mentality is, I need to keep clean sheets. This is the standard.
I feel like, again, barring Manchester United, you cannot be critical of Sanchez.
No, yeah, not really.
And you know, I'm a vehement Sanchez hater. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, same.
I think the thing for me the thing is, I can hear that point, Marshall, but I think the problem is, our problem right now is the quality of centre back that we have in the back line. Does that make sense? That is where we have a quality control issue, right? In terms of like when there's no Fofana in the team, right? And and even to an extent with Cole, right? The drop off to the next two guys is too big. I think that's the best.
But the thing is, though, Ahmed,
that's the best way I would put it. Probably in my personal opinion.
I would agree with you if we didn't just have the month we did have without Colwell, because we saw that Fofana comes into the side and he raises the floor, right? And he raises the, for lack of a term, I'll say the mentality for that defense, right? We looked sound. We conceded one goal in November, I believe. I could be wrong about that.
Marshall, you're agreeing with what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm using Cole to an extent only because he's out as well. But the point I'm making is, when you lose, the drop off between a Fofana and the next guy is too big. Does that make sense? That's what I'm also saying. It doesn't need to, and that is, I think,
this is the way I see it.
Go ahead.
With the current situation, our starters are Fofana, Chalobah. The drop off, let's just say Fofana and Chalobah were to get hurt. The next one in line, Badiashile. Wow, and it would be Tosin, wouldn't it? Because it's not Achimpong.
No, because from the Banter perspective, it's not.
That's the issue we're having. Because if it was Achimpong, Badiashile, I don't think that's that big of an issue, because I've seen all of those players in particular have good games. Very, very good games for us this season. Whereas Tosin, I think he had one good game, and I can't even remember what game it was. It wasn't even like a standout game. It was just, okay, you weren't dumb today. and that's it. Like, he's the only one I've just seen continuously have bad games. And when, like, we saw how Badiashile performed against Liverpool. Like, there's a player there. But I think when he has to babysit for Tosin, when Chalobah has to babysit for Tosin, he just brings the level down.
Exactly.
Genuinely brings the level down. So that's it's not even like a quality problem. It's just that one player for me. That if you get rid of that one player and you bring in someone like, and I think you agree with me on this, if you bring in someone like Sar or Anselmino, like, the floor isn't raised. Well, it probably is raised, to be honest, and the ceiling is raised of the team. And that team can adapt and, like, you know, play the season out and get to know each other and build up chemistry and all that. And the player hasn't had that bad of a season in Bundesliga. And that's Bundesliga. Like, it's a very attack-heavy team. And most times a good rule of thumb, as far as I know, a good rule of thumb is always like, if you have a good defender that's from Bundesliga, chances are that'll translate over to other leagues. So, CFC for life, bro. What are you saying to me? Welcome to the call-in show. And if you guys want to call in, link above the chat. It's pinned up there. It's also in the description. So, by all means, call in, have your say, talk about the game, talk about the upcoming game, whatever you want to talk about. CFC for life. What are you saying to me, brother?
Yes, what you said. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, is it a lot better from before, yeah?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I saw your stat there, what you brought up a bit earlier, about having Tosin in the team and not in the team. Well,
This one.
if we can, yeah. So if we can see that, then what the hell is Maresca seeing? Because he should be able to see that. He should be able to know that with Tosin in the team, this is the kind of performance we're getting. Now, I'm not just going to scapegoat him. Yes, he was one of the main reasons we lost. But at the same time, we went 2-0 down. That's not good enough. That's just now, yes, you can give 99% or 90% on Tosin, cool. But yeah, we went down. It's 2-0. Now, we've played Leeds before. It's not a derby, but if you look at the history, it's always been feisty. Every time we play Leeds, it's been feisty. And I even saw something about John Terry was at Chelsea's ground the other day, and he spoke to the players, and he told the players, you need to get up for this game. He actually spoke to the players and told them that this game is normally going to be a hard game. They're going to press us. And he said that to the players. Now, for me, there's a lot of blame on Maresca as well, because how can you put Chalobah right back? Why? Okay, you play Tosin, which is a mistake. Then you put Chalobah right back, which makes absolutely no sense. Like, why have you put him right back? Then we've got two right backs, or you could say three with Achimpong as well, really, on the bench. So it's like, what on earth are you doing? I understand you can make a couple changes, yeah, but for me, he made way too many changes. He moved too many pieces around. So you put Gusto or James or Achimpong, and then you put Chalobah in the middle with Badiashile, and then Cucurella. You don't have to move too much. And then another thing that I've noticed as well, that our strikers are not scoring enough. Now, I looked at 14 games last season, yeah? 14 games last season, we had Cole Palmer with 9 goals. We had Jackson with 9 goals after 14 games. Yeah? That's just them two. The Lap for Ipswich, was it Ipswich? Yeah. He had 6 goals. Now, if you look at this season, you've got Pedro Neto, our top goal scorer, with 5 goals. You then have João Pedro with 4 goals. And then you have Enzo Fernandez with 4 goals. So, yes, there's a lot of defensive problems, of course. Or not a lot, but our defenders are not great. And if you move like Fofana out and Colwell out. But at the same time, people say we've got strength and depth and we've got quality. Yeah, we have quality, but when we bring in these other players that come in, they're not all great. So, and people say Jackson, I'm not his biggest fan, but at the same time, he gave us a lot of different options. Now, I'm not going to get onto the Lap, because he's young and he's just come here. But he's got a lot of fixing to do, because Jackson, as bad as his finishing was, how the hell can he have 9 goals in 14 games? And we were saying his finishing's terrible. And I'm not going to get onto the lap like that. I'm not trying to say he can't be good. I'm just he's got a lot of improving to do. So it's same as João Pedro. How on earth has João Pedro only got 4 goals in the league? That's terrible. Like, yes, he started off really well, but if this was Jackson, we were getting on to Jackson, but he had actually more numbers in the second last season and the season, I think, when his debut season. I'm not sure after 14 games in his debut season, but he actually scored goals. So these other forward players need to fix up. They're really not doing a lot. And yeah, Maresca just needs to learn as well. Stop changing too much. Yes, you've got to make changes. And yes, some of the players we had on yesterday should get the job done. But they just didn't have that same desire, that like winning the ball back, the resilience, the tenacity. I didn't see the passion, because this is a big game. Playing Leeds, they've always given us difficult games. Now, they don't play this high intensity pressing game like they did under Bielsa back in the day, yeah, because that was like high end like pressing. But at the same time, they're going to give us a game. So we just did not look up for it. We went 2-0 down, and yes, Tosin, as I said, was the main guy. But at the same time, we didn't play well. We only started to get better when Pedro Neto scored, yes. And then it was 2-1, and then we was making our way back into the game. But that's not good enough. Yeah, Tosin then ruined it and then made it 3-1, and it was completely done after that. But it should not have got to that stage. Like, if we're a serious team, we should be able to make changes and still be able to, like, you know, be comfortable. We rarely created any chances in that first half. So for me, that's disappointing. Like, we're playing Leeds. How on earth are we really not creating chances? So yeah, defensively, there's a lot to look at, but at the same time, that's just not the only thing. Bringing out Tosin, yeah, we can all see that. But Maresca can't see that. So for me, that's like, what's going on? Why can't Maresca see that? Why is he still persisting with this player? Because you can see he's very slow. And if you saw in the second half, every time he kept going out to the right and he kept passing the ball, we kept playing it backwards. We kept like passing side to side to side, because he's not quick enough to move the ball forward. He can't really like bomb forward and run with the ball. Like,
take a touch or something, yeah.
Yeah, he's very slow, so it slows down the build up from the back. And for me, that's a big error, because it's like, how's Maresca not seeing that? I know we're playing Leeds, but at the same time, he's a big hindrance on the team. But then yeah, the other players didn't really step up either. So it's there's a lot of mess going on, to be fair.
I think CFC Parag, I think you made a point, obviously, just towards the end about, like, you know, there's no creation in the second half, right? Or like just in general. And I think my problem is the striker that we brought in the lab, we have to create for him. He's not adapting where he self-creates both for himself and the team, if that makes sense. That's not his that's not the type of archetype of striker that we brought in. And so you're left in a position where if you're not really giving him the ball into the box, he's essentially like useless, if that makes sense. And that's very similar to, I'm not saying that he's Haaland, but Haaland's very similar in the C system, where if you're not giving him the ball, he's essentially useless too.
Okay, but if I rebuttal that quickly, yeah, when we give him the ball, he's not bullying defenders. He's not like taking down the ball, muscling off guys, and then playing through balls to someone. Do you know, his link up play needs to be fair, a lot of work.
It's that last part that I agree with, right? Because I feel like we're not giving him enough credit in terms of. And by the way, when I say that, what you guys are saying is absolutely true about the lab. It's not been good enough, but the things that have been, I've seen signs of like, okay, there's something here. Is he can actually hold a man up and control the ball a bit, but it's that second touch or that pass, that final through ball pass, the decision making that has been failing him a lot. He's taken shots when he should have passed. He's passed the ball when I want you to take a shot. You're my striker. And when you do take shots, brother, on target. Like,
remember-
he's out of form right now, is what it looks
Can I
like.
just quickly say, do you remember that
Yeah.
game where we had Mark Gu, yeah? And
Yeah.
he rolled that defender. What was that game where he rolled the defender and he played it into, I think it was to Enzo, and then he
Burnley.
scored that goal.
That was
Yeah?
Burnley. Yeah.
I need to see Delap do that. You're a big guy.
And he should have, because
Yes,
it's
I need to
Leeds.
see more of that. I need to see, and I get what Ahmed's saying, that he's not a
Yeah.
guy that creates stuff. I get it. But when you get chances, hit the target. You're
But
not even hitting
this
the
is
target.
my argument.
But
right?
my-
This is like what
the
I'm
ring-
gonna say in defense of Delap is I feel like, and again, I'm not trying to. Oh, hey, what's up? All right, Google. No one's talking to you, but you want to come and interrupt my conversation? How dare you?
Hold up.
Horrible. Anyways, what I was trying to say is that the one thing I'll give as a minor grace, you could use this if you want. It's up to you, depending on how generous you are as a fan. Is that it seems that it takes a little bit of time for players to adapt to the Maresca system. We saw it with Malagusto. We saw it happen to Enzo Fernandez in the beginning of last season. To an extent, it happened to Pedro Neto as well. There's a few players you can name off, even like the defenders, like Wesley Fofana wasn't that great at the beginning of the season last season. Levi Cole wasn't that great at the beginning of the season last season. Reece James was struggling. It seems that understanding the Maresca system takes a little bit of time and adaptation. Some players are quicker than others. And I did see in a recent presser that Maresca did say he's trying his best to get the lap up to speed because he's missed 2 months of football, give or take, with the injury he's had. He didn't really have much time to really get the basics down during Club World Cup. So where I'm getting at, CFC for life, is that you got Cole Palmer back now. Cole Palmer is someone who's played with the lap, who's familiar with the lap, the games, the game and the style of play that he wants to introduce. And he's also very creative, which is what Ahmed's been claiming. And with the lap in the lineup, you're going to play him as a 9, right? You're not going to play him as a 10, which with Cole, you're probably going to play him as a 10. He's not going to be João Pedro now. João Pedro will come in maybe to give Delap some minutes on the bench, or maybe give a break to Cole Palmer if the game is like done and dusted. But it now adds another weapon to the arsenal, which, okay, now you have Cole Palmer behind you. I want to start seeing some better games at this point. I don't even care if it's GNA, really. I just want to see better performances, impact the game. Like Guiu comes on, he impacts the game. You're not even doing that for me, Delap. So when Cole Palmer comes on, there's no excuses now. You have a creator. He's going to give you chances. You as a striker now have to put it away and prove us all wrong. Because right now I'm not happy with the performances. And João Pedro too. I was telling people, don't get too hyped up on João Pedro. I think right now he's on good form. Hopefully he does that and keeps it up, but he hasn't. And he's dipped. Yeah. I don't know if it's because of the injury or whatever, or he needs Cole Palmer with him, but, you know, there's issues there. My biggest issue is the defense, really. Because with 1-0, I'm sorry, that should be enough to kill off Leeds. I just genuinely feel that way. Fatur, what are you saying to me, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? Long time, guys. How you guys doing?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I've been seeing you at the bridge, though.
Yeah, I'll see you at the bridge in January, isn't it?
Yeah. I haven't even talked about it yet, but I'm gonna, chat. We're gonna.
Marshall's being delegated.
Casually FC might be going. Wait, what'd you say?
Marshall's being delegated.
Whoa.
Wait, what else? Oh. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. If you put me at the Matthew Hardy again, who knows? But we're gonna be going to London in January. At least that's the plan. I'll confirm once I actually confirm it. But yeah, Fatur, I'm gonna be right there next to you with the chips in the air when we score goals, bro.
Definitely.
But were you at the Leeds game, man?
No, I wasn't. I managed to.
You went to the Arsenal one, though, right?
Yeah, it was the Arsenal one. Yeah. I didn't.
I mean, you saw both games, man. What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
The thing is, I had a thought about this. I've been let myself. I calmed myself down after 24 hours. Same. My worry is that the consistency run of results, and let me break it down to you. So we played 38 games in the season. We played 10 games roughly against the big 6 sides. We play 6 games against the promoted teams. So that's the total of out of possible of 48 points. And I call this the other 11 teams, the others 11 teams, out of possibility of 66 pointer. And so far this season, we've picked up three out of possible 18 against the promoted teams, 7 out of possible 30 against the Big 6 sides. And this season, so far we have 14 points out of possible 66. So that's 24 points. Now, I've looked at the past sides that Chelsea won the league. In average, is about 50 points. A 50-pointer against the so-called the combined or promoted teams and also the other 11 teams. Okay. And this season, I'm just worried that we're not gonna against the other 11 teams in the league. We're not gonna get anywhere near by the 50-point mark just because how inconsistency we are as a team. And if you look at the squad right now, this is why we're gonna having the same conversation as last year. By the way, last year we finished on 42 points against the other teams in the league, and we had, if I'm not mistaken, 13 out of possible 18 points against the promoted teams, and then 14 out of 30 points against the Big 6 side. So genuinely, if you want to be a title contender, you need at least 50 points combined against the promoted teams and the other 11 teams in the league. So that's my worry so far this season. It's just that I don't know. I'm not sure if this squad is good enough to go into that level to be that title winning contender.
I mean, I hate to do this, but it's just me being honest, right? I said from the get-go, I think this team is going to finish second this season. I think we're going to be in and abouts this quote-unquote title race, or in and abouts first up until February, March, and then things will start to kind of fall apart. Season hasn't really been going that way, but with Cole Palmer back, I would say maybe that brings more consistency to the table. I think the biggest thing, and I've said this before too, I think, bro, this hurts me to say. This really hurts me to say because it's like, why are you putting a 500 horsepower engine into a little tiny like toy truck or something? It's like Fofana. That's the guy that I'm worried about. And Fofana is that little toy truck where like he's got a lot of potential, got a lot of power, got a lot of ability to really, really bring this team together, bring this defense together. It's no coincidence that ever since he's come back, we looked a lot better defensively. Chalobah's improved. Badiashile had that game against Liverpool. You know, like it was just overall our defenders have been doing good so far outside of Tosin when Fofana's in the lineup. When Fofana isn't, that's where I think our season ends. So I hate to say it. I feel like our season as Chelsea fans is relying, and the consistency that people are asking for is relying on Fofana staying fit.
And Caicedo as well, though.
Thing.
If you take Caicedo out of the team, it makes us more exposed in the middle of the park.
But you know what, CFC for life? I agree. I agree to an extent. But if we're looking at yesterday's game as a sample size of what we can and can't do without Caicedo, I think the biggest issue was Tosin. And when you have someone like Tosin who makes a little mistake, gets away with it in the beginning of the game, and you're a midfielder, you're thinking, oh shit, I got to really protect Tosin, this and that. I don't know. It does bring the level down, even 100%. Of Caicedo and of everyone else around him. Yeah. I'll make the argument that if that was Fofana yesterday, I think we looked a lot better. I think we actually keep a clean sheet yesterday if that was Fofana.
I'm more worried for us to get, like people said, like I'm worried about getting top 4. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I'm seeing that. Where is this 38, 34? I think for me, the minimum to be the top 4 team, I think you need at least 48 or 45 to 48 points, just because how tight the league is this season. 45 to 48 points, genuinely you can categorize it like, oh yeah, we're securing that top 4.
But don't you guys think that the league, at least the traditional top four outside of Arsenal, have just not been good quality? I mean, we're talking last month Sunderland was in the top four. This month, now Aston Villa's in the top four. Man City against Fulham were winning 5-1, and Fulham did a last-minute resurgence to score 3 goals and almost score a equalizer against Man City. Man City haven't been that good either.
Okay,
Man
so
City could drop off. Like, I'm just saying, if overall the quality drops off, like, we could be shit and still finish second. That's how it feels like.
yeah, but then doesn't that mean we're in that conversation as well then?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So
We have to show consistency. It's annoying.
Another thing as well, yeah. After 14 games last season, we're 4 points behind. We're 4 points off.
Yeah, we're not as good.
Yeah,
I would link the.
which is shocking, to be fair.
I think for me, my thoughts of the season was always that I think we were gonna finish probably third and fourth. That was always my POV. But I think my aim hopefully this season was more consistency, and then a lot of these young guys you're buying, I was hoping they would get in the necessary game time to actually improve as well. Right now, on part A, we are succeeding on that currently. We are currently fourth in the table. I think we're like 1 point behind third, isn't it? Or was that 1 or 2 points behind?
Yeah,
third
1 point
place.
behind third, I believe.
Right. So on that section, we are doing well. The only problem for me right
3
now.
points behind third. Never mind.
That's fine. We're facing Aston Villa in like 2 weeks in a way.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, my only worry right now is about the game time for some of these young guys. Because realistically, for me, you know my force marshal, there's no point in me playing Tosin if I know that he's not good enough, right? Let me bring in a Chempong and actually let him develop. That's the thing for me. I know I'm not winning the league, right? So what is the next best thing I can do? Prepare the team, prepare the squad itself, the young ones that got to stay here, at least in the medium to long term. Actually, that's why I'm not. Whenever I see Santos playing regular football fast, even though I know Caicedo's out, I'm happy to see that happen, even if it means we lose a game or two. Because for me, I can at least say he's actually learning on the job. Does that make sense?
Down the road, he will be better.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And he's shown that some games he can do that for us already.
Yes.
So I can accept that. I just think for me, it's just about what expectations people had going into the season. I don't think if you were going into the season, the players that we got and thought we were going to compete for the title, I would just personally say you were delusional on that one. Because I did not think that at all.
Yeah.
It's so okay. You brought up Josh, and last season I had pretty I wouldn't say harsh, but like I had my red flags and criticisms of Maresca. And one of those criticisms I remember last season, it was specifically against Ipswich, where Maresca showed last season how stubborn he could be. He's improved on that. This season, he's not been as stubborn. But last season, I recall like the amount of games where I'm like, no one's we look at it as like, oh, the pass isn't there for Tosin or Levi Cole, no one's moving for it, all this and that. But the way I see it, that's a strategy. Maresca wants them to hold on to the ball, to pull out the players and pull out the defenders. And I criticize Maresca for that. I criticize Maresca because he was trying to do it even when he was 1-0 down and the team already know what you're trying to do. So, lo and behold, he's fixed that up. He's changed a bit, and it's not as stubborn and as easy to kind of guess what you're going to do with the ball, right? So, that being said, this season, I think I have another red card or a red flag, I will say, with Maresca, and it's this. So, let's bring it up real quick. So, PYS had this to say, and I thought this was really interesting. A lot of talk about Maresca not playing Josh. But the truth was buried deep in a presser that Maresca did after the 3-0 victory against Forest. Maresca said that he really likes him and he's doing well, and it is important that he is ready when the others are out. Others are not out right now. Maresca does not rate Josh over other fit center backs, even with all Tosin's mistakes this season. Now, I understand. Listen, I get it. I'm not the coach, right? We're not there seeing training and all this and that.
I do.
But brother.
I have behind the bushes though.
All right, fair enough.
Shout out to you, Vato, man.
Shout out to her. Doing the Lord's work. But what I'm trying to say is that
Run the corner anyway, but carry on.
Like with this manager, if you're saying stuff like this, the only thing I can think of is something's going on in training. With this manager, I'm almost convinced that if we had Eden Hazard Hazard would be benched and we would have Garnacho playing on the left wing. Surely
Wow,
you could
doing too
see
much there.
that as no, but like, bro, surely in training maybe you see something, but in the games when we consistently see Tosin fucking this up, fucking that up, fucking this up, surely at one point as a manager you got to think, all right, I know you don't train as well as Tosin does, Josh, but you haven't let me down in the games, and that's when it matters the most. So,
Yeah,
like, to me,
I agree.
I'm upset with Maresca after seeing this.
I
Genuinely,
think my thing is that I've seen it with Maresca in the sense that he does trust the older players more, like
Yeah.
and to a certain extent. And that's just, I think that's obviously a natural, some might say a natural weakness base in terms of like certain positions, right, in the defense. But
Yeah.
when he trusts a player, he puts full trust in them. That's why if you remember last season, certain players that were not on the squad, aka a João Felix, etc., who he did not trust, right, and he used them as limited experiment as possible. Maybe he doesn't trust a Chempong to be the consistent, steady Eddie in that midfield, right? That's what it just comes down to, I think, Marshall. And I can disagree with him, obviously, because I think, obviously, a Chempong should be doing this job. But there's a point that it comes back to for me personally, which is that if you don't think a Chempong's ready for you and you've got all these other guys ahead of you, why is he not at Strasbourg right now? At least of like Mamadou Sarr, Ostigard, the other guy that's really talented that's at Strasbourg right now, but who are you trying to develop, right? Why not send them out there on loan and actually develop and let him come back to you when
Because
he's
Ahmed, according to him, he needs him when his starting players are out. My issue isn't that. My issue is, why is Tosin your starting player after he's failed?
Because he
X
trusts
amount of
Tosin.
times?
Because he still trusts them.
At some point, the trust has got to break, bro.
I understand that, Marshall, but if you remember, he still played them last year, and then towards the end of last year when he started performing okay-ish, he's playing him now, and at the end of the day, he trusts him more than other guys. So that's what it comes down to.
So Maresca is you're saying Maresca is a masochist?
It'll be his downfall, though, won't it? If he keeps playing him, yeah. And
That's what I'm saying. CFC for life.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
He's risking it. He's risking it. So if Maresca,
But that's always been.
Yeah, go on.
I think with my sorry, CSC for life. I know I'm talking a bit too much here, but I would just say that I think with Maresca that his MO has always been that he's been stubborn, bro. You know what I mean? It's until it dropped in his head that things changed, bro. And you remember last year the substitution thing was an ongoing, consistent issue, bro. Until realistically the end of the season when the penny dropped, and that was realistically you can make the argument when it was almost too late.
I forgot about that. Yeah. That was another big issue with him. Yeah. I wasn't that upset about it because the beginning of the season he was making it, and I had this conspiracy theory in my head that, the ownership aren't letting him play certain players because they need to sell them, which was partially true. But yeah, he's stubborn, but I'm hoping, because we've seen it with the tactics, we've seen it with the subs even, he does pick up on his weaknesses and tries to get better about it, which is good about him. But right now with this situation, even with the trust thing, right? And even with this statement right here, he's ready when others are out. Brother, as far as I'm aware, Chalobah shouldn't have been available for yesterday's game. You played him against Arsenal. You played him against Barcelona. Back-to-back games in short rest period. He shouldn't have been ready to play yesterday, let alone at right back. You have a right back, bro.
The one thing here you can't criticize Pepito for.
All right, Marshall, I'm gonna go bet now. Just give me a DM about that in January, innit? But
Yeah. I'm gonna solidify a few more details and I'll hit you up, brother. But I appreciate you coming on, man.
The one thing, I
Big
can
up for
give credit to Mr. Pepito for,
Pepito.
what, Marshall, is that he actually
Pep Guardiola?
yes, Pepito. That's basically his sensei, Marshall. Come on, man. That's his obviously his professor.
I see
Reason why I
what
bring
you're
them-
saying.
right?
Oh, okay, never
They
mind.
all-
I don't know.
I had no idea what you're talking about before.
O'Reilly, he's played some of these younger guys. O'Reilly is getting consistent game time, bro, since the end of midway from last season, bro. Consistent game time. And he looks like a good player, bro. What I don't understand why Marcel cannot see that with a champion, bro. What's funny for me is that he sees more value, it seems, with Tariq George, bro, who he's been playing consistently, bro.
That's true, actually.
Right, which I'll be honest with you, Tariq George was only one step away from playing for mid-table Fulham side, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. And he would have done well over there.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I think he definitely needs to play Achimpong, but I feel like it's because of his age, which is pathetic, but I feel like he's looking at his age and then he's looking at the back line and he looks at Tosin and thinks, you've got more experience, so I'm going to play you in these big games, or not big games, but games against Leeds where it's going to be tough and it's going to be hard. And so he looks at Tosin for that experience, but then Tosin can't play on the ball, so he hinders us. But you're right, he should give Achimpong more game time because he's clearly better than Tosin. And every time Tosin's been there, as you showed the stats earlier, he makes too many mistakes. So I feel like he needs to weigh that up. Well, as you said, put Achimpong right back then. You know, why not put him right back? Like, do you get what I mean? If you don't want to put him in the centre back spot because you think it's going to be too much for him, put him right back then.
But that's what I'm saying, because like if his role is to be the player you rely on when you got no one else to rely on, there gets to a point where like you get to that what Pochettino did, right? Where you just run players to the ground. Trevor Chalobah played an intense game against Barcelona, and he played another intense game against Arsenal. And now you're putting him at right back, which, mind you, it wasn't really right back, it was right center back. But when they were in possession, he would tuck in as a right center back and they would form a three at the back. But when we were defending, he was in that right back role.
Chelsea, please comment, Marshall, please, if you don't mind.
But it's also, again, if you want to save him for the long run, if you want to keep him fit and fresh for the next game, why are you playing him for a third game in a row after those first two games you played him for were really intense games? It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. And it's the same logic you should have used because you used that with Cole Palmer, right? You don't want to play Cole Palmer because you were worried. You don't want to start Cole. Well, you didn't play Cole Palmer against Arsenal because you were worried it was too intense of a game and we're down to 10 men. Fair enough. What about Leeds? Why didn't you want to play Cole Palmer in that game? You should have been ready for that.
But
you don't want to risk it? Fine.
I think he played toe though, or was that just all fake? Didn't I heard that Palmer's toe was apparently broken?
Yeah, that's true. But
so is that true or is that
he's
fake?
recovered pretty much. He's gotten a special boot to help him. Like, I'm assuming the boot is specifically not a boot, but like the mold or whatever he has is specifically so that he can play while it's healing. Because normally I've had a fractured toe. Normally you get a special boot to walk in, but you know it's not. Like, you can't walk. You can still walk.
I wanted to. I think
you need to be off of it to heal. But
big up to Chelsea Blue, by the way. Shout out to him. I just wanted to make this comment, which is that Tosin has no book value. I don't know if you know that, Chelsea Blue. We brought him for £0 British sterling. Whatever you get for him is.
Do you think he means like a book value that he could be sold at?
The problem is, Marshall, if that was the case, last year was the prime time to sell him. Let's keep it real.
His profit's going down.
To be fair, though, I don't know if you're going to say what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it real quick. To be fair, last season, he didn't look anywhere near this bad, and now I'm realizing it's a lot because of Levi Colwill, not necessarily because of his quality.
That's what I'm saying, though, right? But that's the thing is, though, at the end of the day, though, Marshall, my point still stands, though. He was available to be. He wasn't available to be brought, but clubs were giving them offers for him. Right, and this is something that was remember I told you about, and I at the time
big up Leeds fans,
and I was at the time saying, bro, we should have cashed in on him then. That was the prime time to cash in because you were never gonna get more money than him at this point. Even when he's played for Fana, bro, which I think has happened before once or twice, he still does not look good, bro. Right now he looks good, and any value you get for him is only between like something like 5 to 10 million at best. I think for him right now.
I was gonna say, I get from a tactical standpoint why you want to play Tosin, right? He does have a similar passing ability to Levi Colwill. It's not as good, but he does have it in his locker. He can do that, right? But I don't think that's excusable even in this season, because I'll say this, and I think you guys will probably agree. I think Sanchez's distribution this season has improved.
Yeah.
Like something happened in that Club World Cup where he just turned it around, and now where he used to be a 0 out of 10, now he's become like a 5 out of 10 completed passing kind of guy. So it's improved. And so when you have that passing ability from Sanchez, why do you need another one available through Tosin?
I'll tell you why. Because
yeah.
having your centre back, it's different. It's different. Goalkeeper, yeah, you have it to a certain extent, but when you're a centre back, you're having more time on the ball. It's the kind of different angles. You can kind of run with the ball, then play a quick pass. So I hear what you're saying. You want the goalkeeper, of course, because he can start attacks as well. But you do want your centre back, and the way we play, it's very pass, move the balls. Hit the ball really quickly into the midfield or the strikers from your centre back. So you do want that, unless Maresca then starts to play a different style of play. That's what he should do if he knows Tosin is. If Tosin can't handle players pressuring him, you then have to change the style of play, or you change the formation. You have to play 3 at the back, where he's the centre back, or not 3 at the back really, but you make him the centre back, and then you put 2 centre backs next to him, just so he gets a lot more cover, so he doesn't get exposed so much.
I think for me, this is actually the debate me and you have had before, Marshall. Remember about Tosin and Chalobah early in the season when they were playing together. About
Fresh memory.
Remember when I was saying, does Maresca need to change the system in order to at least get somewhat of a suited?
I vaguely recall something like this. Yeah.
Remember when we had a debate about how does Maresca get the best out of Tosin and Chalobah? I remember at the time I was making the point maybe we need to play a back 3, like a proper back. And just play. You remember this at the time? I said this at the time. A few months. I think it was 2 months ago. Anyway, that's when they were playing. But I think for me at the time, the point that me and you made was that, or at least you made, sorry, I should say, was that even if you do play them in the 3, Tosin is still susceptible. Chalobah at times can still be susceptible. So the risk is still there either way. But you may be able to make some level of competency. But the thing is, this is not like when someone like a Rudiger, Christiansen, who have shown that they can be good centre backs beforehand. Does that make sense? At least under Taliban. But obviously, that's not really the case with Tosin. Tosin was playing for Fulham. Fulham, unironically, have upgraded on Tosin, guys. Joachim Andersen, it's an upgrade.
I mean, he had a howler against City, but that's besides.
But I'm talking about generally as the general player is an upgrade. Yeah, even I don't like to say this guy's good. Yeah. But I forget his name, the Nigerian centre back.
Bassi?
Bassi is more consistent than him.
Yeah, he is.
He is. You know what I mean? So for me, Fulham upgraded. Even though he got 0 pounds, and it hurts to say that, bro. And it hurts to say that, right? But I would take a Joachim Andersen this year, bro. I hate to say it. Joachim Andersen is probably, and I said that, I was saying at the time, you were probably saying this at the time, right, when he was available, remember? Crystal Palace, right? Because for me, that's the type of guy who realistically, if Fofana's not available, we need a steady Eddie. I think the thing.
And he's good at passing. He's great at passing from the back.
I would take Chris Richards into this team. That's how down bad I am, bro.
Who? The Crystal Palace guy.
Yes.
Chill out.
Yeah.
Brother, Crystal Palace have a decent defense, and he's a starter.
I'm taking Gurhey though. Come on, you got to take Gurhey.
I think Gurhey
obviously, but that's how low I'm
probably the guys.
Yeah.
Gurhey and Lacroix you probably would take, right? But I just think for me that is the thing we're lacking. We're lacking a steady Eddie right now, and that's the main problem. The one thing, the one thing I am gonna say, and this is gonna be a criticism to Maresca, right? He needs to see, he's seeing this, bro. And I don't, even the sporting directors can get criticism here. Why are they not speaking to him, right? They apparently speak to him regularly. They force players on him, right? If I was sporting director, I'm seeing Tosin's cooked. Why am I not playing my future young guy in here who's meant to be a part of the future, right?
Yeah.
Sporting director-wise, we say that he's a yes man to them. Sporting directors have to maybe put some pressure here. I hate to say it like that, but you got to start, doing something there, really.
I ain't gonna lie though. Like, I think from a sporting director, obviously, like as a sporting director, you want to let the manager do their job, right? So you
I
can't
agree
be
with that.
like picking and choose. Like I get that. Come January though, I guarantee you, or maybe I shouldn't say this, but I almost want to guarantee that either Anselmino or Mamadou Sarr are coming through that door. We're cutting one of their loans short, and they're going to come in and help out. Whether Tosin goes or not, I don't know. But what needs to happen is, but it's Maresca too.
Yeah, but are these centre backs ready though? I know they're good. I'm not saying they're not. But
No.
do
See
we
if live you bring a good point though. That's a good point that you're making.
Yeah, that's
Are
all I'm
these guys
saying.
ready?
Like,
Yeah.
like.
But that's where you, as a football team, have to accept the L you're gonna take here. This is what I come back to, right? Are you willing to say that these? Can I say these centre backs can give us top 4? Realistically, I can probably say yes. Right, as long as we're playing for fun, I think initially, but these guys are coming as backups to play some more consistent football. I think we can get top 4 football, but we need to also understand we're gonna take a hit in terms of like these guys are gonna make mistakes sometimes, right? They're good, but as long as we understand the idea is for them to improve as players, there's a much better upside than playing the Tosin.
But this is the way I see it. And I was arguing with Scott about this yesterday, right? Let's look at our defenders, and you guys tell me who is better, A or B, right? A is going to be Tosin because he's the prime example. Who's better, Tosin or Chalobah this season?
Chalobah.
Okay, who's better, Tosin or Fofana?
Fofana.
Okay, who's better, Tosin or Acheampong?
Acheampong's better than him, definitely.
Okay, who's better, Tosin or Badiashile?
Badiashile.
Okay, who's better, Tosin or Hato?
It would have to be Hato. I can't.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
Do you see how low down the pecking order we're going?
Yes.
So now do you see, like, when I'm saying bringing Anselmino to replace Tosin, it's on that part of the pecking order. It's on that's how low.
Okay.
Because I'm not relying on him. I just need someone else that when I do have to play that 6th choice or 5th choice center back, he's a decent player, not a Tosin level player.
But what if he is? I'm not saying he's going to be. I know he's not.
I don't think he will be. Why? Because let's just say for Mamadou Sarr's sake, right? Ahmed can attest to this. Mamadou Sarr is now in his 2nd season actually, he's probably had more seasons before that, but as far as I'm aware, he's in his 2nd season right now with Strasbourg. He's actually playing decently. Strasbourg and Ligue 1, right, have pretty much translated pretty well to Premier League. So I'm not worried about that adaptation. You see how quickly Santos has adapted, and he's from Ligue 1. Like, I do think those players will adapt relatively quickly. Even Fofana, when he came to Leicester, he adapted pretty quickly. Saliba as well. Like, it's a good league for defensive-minded players. In terms of Anselmino, my argument for Anselmino, CFC for life, is right now for Dortmund. Obviously, Dortmund aren't having a good season. They've been having issues with ownership and the coach and all this other stuff that I'm not gonna touch because I'm not that informed on it, right? But he's been one of their shining lights. He's actually been pretty decent for them, and defensively, he's looked good. And my rule of thumb is that if you look good defensively in the Bundesliga, you're probably a good defensive player in any league. Because Bundesliga is full-on blitzkrieg attack, bro. Let's be honest. So that's where my logic is coming in. And I don't think it can be any worse than Tosin.
I think for me, it just, listen, we need to also, I think with Scott, I get that Scott was like probably the top of the top players to be coming to the club. But we also need to realize that's not happening at Chelsea, bro. Right? We're always going to get, obviously, we're getting up and coming players. So the reality is, we need to look at up and coming players that we believe have the highest chance of actually making it and then staying in the squad, if that makes sense. That's the way we do stuff.
But to like steel man his position, right? Even though I agree with you, I think with him, it's like there's always going to be a bargain deal out there, right? Kvara. We probably could have gotten Kvara. Listen, it's about putting your hat in the ring and you never know what could happen. I think Kvara could have been a possibility, but okay, we don't have to go to Kvara. Cherki. Look at the price that Cherki went out for, right? We could have, Cherki is a player that fits under our mold. Young player, not on a high salary, affordable transfer fee. So
he's more of a 10 though. If I'm being honest with you.
I know, but it's just an example, right? Like,
Okay.
you're gonna find those bargain deals out there for certain players. Like, even I don't know if he's a free agent at the end of the season or if he was last season, but the ex City defender that went to Saudi, the Spanish one, what's his name?
Laporte.
Yeah,
he's all right. He was all right at one stage.
Yeah.
The problem is, Marshall, you know the guys you mentioned.
There's bargains out there.
The guys you mentioned, for example, right? There's only one. Mascara was the only one where I could probably hear a good shout.
That's
right?
another one too. Yeah.
That was 30 million at the time. And Laporte, how old is Laporte?
Hincapie too, to be honest.
How old is Laporte?
He's got to be 30, 28 at least. 30.
That's never gonna happen at this football club, bro. That's not gonna happen at this football club. Let's keep it real. Now,
He's 31. Never mind. I take
right,
it.
right. The other problem that you've also got, right, with Hincapie, you already brought Hato in the team. At least from their perspective, you have to look at it from their perspective, right? They just brought in Hato. Why are we bringing Hincapie to Peru? Because Hincapie is not gonna play RCB for you, bro. Then the way the club looks at it is that they're very specific in terms of the position you're gonna play with.
And would you say Hato's ready to play centre back? Because remember, Marshall, you was calling for Hato to play centre back a couple months ago, and is he even ready? I'm not saying. I know he had one bad game, so I'm not going to get onto him. But I don't know if he's ready. I don't know.
This is gonna be funny. CSC for life. Do you remember that bad game that Hato played? Do you remember what game that was?
You're gonna say he's next to Tosin. No, but you're right. You're right though. Yeah. But at the same time, if you're a defender though, you're gonna have to deal with your one-on-one. Even if you're with Fofana, if Hato was with Fofana, of course Hato's gonna look better. But at the same time, he's gonna have to deal with his one-on-ones, and Hato couldn't even deal with his one-on-ones at times because sometimes they were coming down on the left side, and he had to do one-on-ones, and he was getting like bodied and all of those type of things. So I get you. You're right. Yes. He was next to Tosin, who's just always infecting everybody, which you're right. And then Tosin, so I hear you. You have a point.
But the thing is, though, like, okay, now I'm gonna kind of give Bresca the benefit of the doubt, because at the same time, you do have to manage the team. You do have to keep the squad harmony and all that jazz. And I look at the last time Tosin played. Was that Wolves game, right? Was that the last time? What did I read in my chart here? We played Tosin. Okay, so it was the Burnley game, right? So Maresca played him against a relegation side. He played him against Karabag. He played him against Wolves. He unfortunately did play him against Sunderland, but I think we were without Fofana, I think, because of the concussion protocol, maybe. I don't remember what happened with Fofana in that game. Maybe he was rotated. But my point being is that, like, he's trying to give him minutes to probably keep him happy. And he's giving him the minutes against relegation side, which any of us would do. But he's been shit. It's just like, he's just been shit. So if you look at the frequency of how Tosin's playing, I wouldn't mind if Anselmino's playing at that frequency. Or Mamadou Sarr is playing at that frequency. Right?
Kids.
Like,
yeah.
If he's playing every third game, then I think that's okay, especially if it's like a relegation side where I expect Chelsea to be the stronger team. So that's kind of where, like, that's where I'm getting at with, like, if you could bring in one of these young defenders, and Maresca hopefully doesn't do the whole I gotta rely on my experienced players gimmick and actually plays these players over Tosin, then maybe there's something there to, cover the bases until Levi Colwell comes back, and maybe these defenders might be at a point now where they can actually serve the first team more, but that's, neither here nor there. SKFC, big up to you, my friend. Welcome to the Casually FC call-in show. I was about to say, how can I help you? But I can't help you. But maybe you have something to talk about.
I mean, thanks for having me. I mean,
of course,
you can't really help me. A certain bald Italian guy has to help all of us. So that's kind of
yes.
I'm actually bald and Italian.
Oh, then you might want to speak to your brethren then. Or I don't know what to say.
The brethren. Talk to me. What are your criticisms, or what's on your mind as of right now related to Chelsea?
I mean, honestly, I would say I'm surprised, but I really am not. In fact, actually, after yesterday's loss, because since Chelsea last won the Prem, basically once December and
2017.
January hits,
16-17 season.
2017, yeah.
Yeah, once December, January hits, the season just kind of goes to hell. So I looked at pretty much the Prem fixture since in the months of December and January since they last won the league, and the record is not great. So in one sense, I can't. Obviously, it's been a trend for like almost 10 years now. So, but in terms of yesterday's game, right? Let's talk about it in isolation. I think right, we look at the lineup. I just think Maresca overly rotated when he didn't need to. I don't know if maybe he just underestimated LEEDS, or if he was just trying to go with the same approach he did with Burnley, where he didn't put out like a full strength lineup when he needed to, when like at the start of the game. I thought that the football they played yesterday was just kind of slow, lethargic. I could kind of tell what his game plan was, because I think he was trying to isolate the wingers as much as possible and kind of have them be the ones to kind of lead the attack in a sense. And it just didn't work. I thought Delap was not that useful, like, because the thing with Delap is he's there to be a battering ram. He's there to cause chaos in the box, and when he's trying to do all these like link up play stuff, that's not really his skill set. So I don't think that worked out in that sense. And I'm not gonna be too
critical?
too worried about it yet, just because I feel like we have to. It has to become a trend first. Obviously, you know what happened last year with the title challenge talk.
Snowball effect,
So, at least I got to give it a couple games, because people are talking about like it's 1 point in 6, but it's like you played Arsenal last game with 10 men, so it's a bit of a
1 point out of 6 is kind of a crazy agenda stat. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
Arsenal and Burnley, or not Burnley, LEEDS. That's wild. All right, sorry. Continue.
No. People are disgusting.
Crazy.
They will do what they got to do. I almost respect it, but. And then as for Tosin Adarabioyo, well, Tosin Adarabioyo. And it hurts because I'm Nigerian as well, so I hate having to hate on him.
You don't have to claim him. To be fair.
I know. He's yours though. He is yours.
Because
he's yours.
to be fair, he decided way late in his career to be Nigerian. Let's just be real. You don't have to claim him.
Bro. So listen, all I'm gonna say is I don't want bro can't put on another jersey. Can't put on the jersey for this club ever again, bro. Bro, it's to a point now. I don't want bro to date another chick whose name is Chelsea, bro. That's how fed up I am. And honestly, I think it might just still be like a bit of the hurt from the game. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but no, what he did yesterday was disgusting. I can't lie.
He just has something.
You're right.
Is that like he was God?
Thank you, Cole. You said it.
And he was arguing with someone. How he has the cheek to get mad at someone when he made the mistake.
I think he was really pissed off at himself, to be honest. And it didn't help that Rob Sanchez yelled at him. But to be fair, I want Rob Sanchez to yell at him. You fucked up, dude. Like, get it together. And I'll be honest, like, I really thought we were probably going to make a comeback. I felt like we were going to make a comeback in that game. And then that one mistake just took the sails completely out of the wind out of Chelsea's sails completely.
Well, I mean, they had started a bit better for about like the first 20 minutes into the second
we came out the gates and we scored. And listen, it's hard to come back from a 2-0 when it's, second half, but you start off the game, 5 minutes in, you score, and then you get 2-1. You got 40 minutes to score 2 more goals. I think the team could do it. We've done it before. Like we've scored multiple goals on teams. Like I think, look at Barca. Like how once we got 1 goal in, they broke them apart, and then we scored another and another. Like, like it could have been one of those games. And we went 20 minutes after that and didn't do anything. But like we were creating chances. We were knocking on the door. Like we were getting there. But Unfortunately, yeah, that stupid mistake. But one thing that you said before, SKFC, is that you said you had an issue with rotation, and I a few fans have been saying this, and I kind of want to ask you, what exactly with the lineup did you have an issue with in terms of the rotation, and what would you have done differently?
Well, I guess I was probably just a bit more taken aback by putting Tosin with Badiashile, right? Because I don't think they really played together that much this season.
I think that may have been the first time they've ever played together. In
Yeah,
the
and
season
then
at least. Yeah.
and Chalobah at right back is not ideal. So, right, like, and I understand it. I understand why you would want to rotate, right? So I'm not even saying, oh, like, you have to run a full strength team, but it's just, I just think he was asking a bit too much from specifically the back line. I think was where he really got it wrong. Like, you're pretty much giving Esteval no help, and while playing against that back three, Chalobah's not going to overlap for him, right?
Yeah.
Badiashile and Tosin, neither, especially Badiashile, neither one of them are going to like be the type of passers to catch LEEDS off guard like that. So he just kind of empowers LEEDS to be even more aggressive in their press, because like neither one of them are exactly Cole on the ball, or even Fofana or Josh in terms of like dribbling out from the back or anything like that. So there's really nothing to, I guess, break the lead press. And then Gittins, I'll be honest with that assist really saved his match rating, because he was not really doing much yesterday in terms of getting
in the second half. He did look a lot better, I'm not gonna lie. He looked like our better attacker, but I think the first half, either he wasn't showing up for the ball or he wasn't getting enough service, because we were heavily right leaning on that first half.
I think that's fair, because especially because LEEDS, like, again, they played a back three, they had a 5-man midfield, so like there's definitely going to be a lot of space being clogged, and they weren't really getting help from the back line in terms of in possession play.
Such. Yeah, it's like, the thing is though, like, I hear the rotation argument for some people. At the same time, I hear it only really in the sense of, oh, well, these players aren't familiar. You keep rotating them. They're never going to build up chemistry. It's going to lead to inconsistencies, all this and that. And that's true. However, I'm not looking at Gittins on the left wing and saying, oh, why is he being shoehorned into the team? He doesn't, he hasn't been building up the chemistry with the team. Why are we rotating him in? Like, he's not a start. Like, he's been playing games. He's been impacting games. And he's improved since the beginning of the season. I'm looking at, for example, and the one I will give 100% is Acheampong. There's no reason to be playing Chalobah at right back when you have Acheampong, who's fully ready to go, hasn't been playing games, so on and so forth. Like, that could be one change, and then you have Chalobah and Badiashile, who have played together this season, in that back. So that's not as rotated. And then the rest of the team kind of looks fine. Andre Santo has played there. He played there with Enzo against Burnley, and it worked. So, like, that wasn't fully rotated either. Like, I feel like fully rotated side probably would have been if I saw Guiu up front, Buenanote in the 10, Tariq George at left wing. Like, that to me is like really, really heavily rotated. But as far as I'm aware, the only rotation he made, and it was the wrong rotation to make, was Chalobah right back instead of just playing Acheampong.
It's just dumb rotations that he makes, though. Like, if you're
that was a silly rotation, I'll admit.
Especially at center back.
Yeah.
Because we, like, this is something like we all agreed with like 2 weeks ago, when things were going bad for us. Pick a partnership and stick to it. And what we've seen this season, only 2 partnerships worked so far. Acheampong and Badiashile worked as a partnership, and Fofana and Chalobah worked as a partnership. So if we can't play Fofana every game because he's on this minutes to fitness thing, which I understand, then when Fofana can't play, you make the choice, if you want, to take out Chalobah and play Acheampong and Badiashile. So at least they have chemistry together. Make the smart rotations.
Yeah, and I feel like the chemistry in this system is a big, 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 big factor.
Yeah, Tosin doesn't, like, even his attributes, the things that he's meant to be good at, he can't even do. He doesn't have any right or reason to start.
He pulled off one good
here.
pass the whole game.
He shouldn't still. He
Sad
shouldn't
state
still
of
be
affair.
here.
Yeah.
Like we can't play in the high line because he's too slow. And that's coming from like Buddy Shaw, I don't even think is the quickest. Chalobah, I don't think is the quickest. And Fofana has so many injuries in his legs. And we still can't play in the high line with Tosin.
Yeah, because I think it's more so
his passing is still non-existent. You're the tallest center back we have, but yet you're not good aerially. Like what? There's no advantage in you even being on the field because you can't even play to your strengths. You get bullied easily. I've seen Pong played up against Mateta against Palace first game of the season. Imagine if that was Tosin playing there. We would have lost that game.
What were you going to say, SKFC? You had a
no. Yes. Sorry for almost interrupting you, Latimus. I was going to add on his point about the Tosin being unable to play on a high line. I think it's just because like he doesn't have good acceleration. Like he can't reach.
Oh God, he's slow. I think he's your slowest player, to be honest.
He is.
But even if he wasn't that slow, he just doesn't. He's just flat-footed, so it's like he can't move quick enough.
No balance.
Doesn't read the ball well either.
Yeah, but it's not even about being quick.
Dog, the part that vexed me, Prime and everyone else, the part that vexed me is that growing up, bro, you grew up tall. You were that guy that auntie would call to just reach that highest shelf. You were a tall motherfucker, and you developed as a tall motherfucker. How did no coach in your development teach you, yo, use your physicality to your advantage, use your height to your advantage? Because, brother, you are not doing that right now. You can't win aerial headers. How is Levi Colwell, who is a whole ass foot shorter than you, getting fucking aerial battles, but you're getting dunked on, bro? I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was watching the NBA.
Shout out the Nuggets.
And that's why I said in the summer, why these young center backs that we have out, at least keep them and let them play and make mistakes. What everyone got onto Hato for what he did against Carrier Bag, and everyone had to hate on Josh for, was it Brighton or Brentford?
Yeah.
One of those two games, because I didn't watch the game, so I don't even know how bad he really was. But that's fine. If kids are making those mistakes, I don't have a problem with that.
That was the only bad game he's had, Prime, and not even that. Like he was thrown into like the wolves. Like everyone was playing shit that day.
Yeah, but that's fine though, because you're a kid, you're talented. Yeah. I don't mind you having those bad games. On him, yeah. If you're 26, 27, I can't have like Tosin and even Chalobah, because he's been good the last few games or several games, however many it's been. But before that, he was also making those mistakes. I can't have these older, experienced defenders making these mistakes. So at least let the talented young kids do it, because Anselmino is meant to be one of the best, like, South American young defenders and whatever. And Sarr is killing it in France. Awesome. So let them play here. And let them make those mistakes.
Do you know what?
Is it worse than what we're going now?
I don't think
any of those two guys are going to be worse than... They're no way. They're going to be nowhere near Tosin.
No, but do you not think it will damage their? I think why they don't play these youngsters so much, it might actually damage their confidence. Now, to the point that they're going to feel really, really shook to come back. Let's say they played 4 or 5 games and they had 4 or 5 bad games. It might damage their confidence because they're really young, because they're like 19, 20. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just saying maybe that's why Maresca's saying I can't play these players too often, because Tosin, he'll be able to handle that. But can a 19, 20-year-old handle that if we're losing 3 or 4 games and we're blaming them and writing it on Instagram and all these things about these youngsters? I don't know. So he might be doing that for that reason. But for me, it is pathetic. Like, they should play them, but he might be trying to protect them. Who knows?
But that's the thing, though. With the squad planning that we have, our older guys aren't good. For Fofana, we can't trust to stay fit. We can't trust to play consistently. But Fofana didn't play against Leeds. So are you saying would Anselmino or Sarr would have been worse?
No, I agree. I think he should be or Achimpong. I feel like he should have played. He should have started him. I don't know why he's not trusting him, because young players are going to make mistakes, as you said. So that's the whole point. The more you play them, the more confident and the more experience they get, the more times you play them. So you're right. Playing him, Achimpong, and these young guys will get them better. If you don't play him, where's he going to get the experience? How is he going to handle playing against Leeds or playing in the Champions League, playing in the FA Cup? You need to play some of these young players in the big games so they get used to it. So
No, I'm
you're
not
right.
even saying play. I'm not saying play big games. Leeds, what, Brighton, like Brentford, some of the lower half of the table teams. Why can't they play? If Fofana can't play, why can't they play?
Yeah, especially Leeds, because Leeds were literally coming off a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, I'm not saying like, oh,
Yeah, they were in bad
Anselmino
form coming
or
into this match.
Star, throw them in against Man City and Haaland, because I'm assuming Fofana or Badisha will be fit to play that game with Chalobah, so that's fine. But if we have to play Leeds and Fofana can't play for a minute, then let me play the 18-year-old over Tosin. Like, worst case scenario, Achimpong makes the same mistakes that Tosin made. That's fine. At least I know you're going to learn from that. You're 18. Tosin won't learn. You're 20. He's a grown man, bro. He's 27. He's not going to learn.
Yeah, it's really hoping in January just the defensive issue gets sorted out.
But that's the English development system, bro. That's the center back you guys have developed. It's great.
You guys, he's now. I mean,
He's
listen,
not, bro.
SKFC doesn't have to claim him, but you have to.
But why do I have to play him?
Because you're a Chelsea fan. Well, to be fair, SKFC is technically a Chelsea fan too. All right, doesn't matter. You have to claim him just because you're prime. That's why.
Why do I have to claim him?
Because you're Nigerian, he plays for your country now.
He's not played for my country. But cool.
He's going to.
He just got called up.
He didn't get called up.
Did he really?
He did. It
No,
got
he
mentioned
didn't.
yesterday. You don't see it?
No. I've seen the preliminary squad. He's not in it.
He's in it now. Got called up.
Show it. I've seen the preliminary squad. He's not in
Adebayo.
it.
That's the name you gotta look for.
Yeah, that's what you gotta look
He's
for.
not. He's not in the bro. I've seen the preliminary squad. He's not
Have a
in
look.
it.
Have
They
a quick look.
updated it,
Have a
bro.
quick
They
look.
updated it, bro.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it actually.
Bro, we literally just talked about this in the Sarcasm City group chat today. He's not in the squad.
Yo, if he's in the squad,
Yeah, I'm
they're gonna
joking.
have to
I'm
claim
just
him.
taking the piss, to be fair.
Yeah, of course you are. He's not in the squad. So hey, Chelsea suffer. Hold that.
Damn, Bassi made it to.
Bassie's
Yeah,
better than him, though.
Oh,
Bassie's
Bassie's a starting center back. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on this list. He's
Look,
just
can we
there
not
as a
talk
forward,
about? Listen,
as a
we're already
forward.
talking about one team being.
Ian Nacho made it. Jesus Christ, man! It's the
Bro, can we not
quality
talk
of
about-
the
That's
talk about those guys?
Marshall. That's a preliminary squad that got released. And Nacho won't go. He's not going.
What were you gonna say, SKFC?
Can we not talk about those frauds either, please? I don't.
Who, Ian Nacho?
No, just that team from that place, that country.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, we won't make this into that. But I guess to wrap it up, right? Because I do have to wrap it up. I have to head out of here, guys. But and my apologies, I was late to start the show today. That's work just got caught up for me. But I'll say this, just like as a, let's close out on this. In terms of Bournemouth. Are you guys feeling a little better, more confident that Bournemouth will probably turn it around? Because that's the thing, like CFC for Life, you said this earlier, right? Like at this point of the season, we're 4 points less than where we are right now. We're 4 points less now than we were back then, is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
I don't care about that if December and January isn't as catastrophic as it was last season. Does that make sense? I think that's fair. If we improve from December and January of last season, I think we could still have this conversation of, oh, Chelsea are in a title race. For those of you listening, I did the quotes. I feel good about Bournemouth. I don't think Bournemouth will be an issue. I think Ellen Road is a bogey ground for us. Ellen Road was going to be an issue. They were going to be up for it. Their fans are going to be up for it. It's been a bogey ground for us. We have a horrible record there. So I was willing to be like, okay, this could be a fumble. Hopefully it's not. And those fumble games are the ones that obviously a title winning team wins them, right? Which is why I never claimed we were a title winning team. I just claimed we were going to be in and about second place. But yeah, Bournemouth, do we feel that we're probably going to be okay for that game? Damn. No one has chest. That's crazy.
Oh,
Hard to say with us.
I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
You weren't listening to what I said.
Yeah,
What's the point of the headphones, bro? If you can't listen, dog.
I'm watching something else. What you say?
All right. Bournemouth,
Bournemouth.
how you feel about it?
We're not beating them. Let's go. We're not beating them.
We're gonna lose to Bournemouth. We're gonna draw to Bournemouth. We're gonna win.
Probably a draw.
Let's see. Bournemouth are currently winless in their last 6 Prem matches, and we know what Chelsea like to do when they go against
Charity FC.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Hey, let
So
the
SKFC, we're losing.
I'm not gonna say. Listen, I'm not gonna say we're gonna lose. I just want to say I'm gonna say we're gonna. It's a tentative win. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let the December Chelsea start, guys.
CFC for life. What do you think is gonna happen?
The CC.
It's away. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's away. Yeah.
We can win, obviously, but it just depends. It's just how we turn up, innit? It always just how we turn up in the first 10, 15 minutes will tell us what we're about and if we're serious. But it's going to be
Who
tough.
are we playing at the weekend? Everton.
Bournemouth.
No, sorry, not the weekend. Midweek.
After Bournemouth.
Midweek is Atalanta.
Ooh.
Okay, and after Atalanta,
Everton.
Oh,
at their place.
At home.
It's at home, I
Never
think.
mind. I lied.
What?
Wait,
I'm
what the
curious which games Maresca will rotate in.
Well,
Tottenham's
I mean,
Tottenham's gonna play again. Tottenham's gonna play again. One of the next 3 games. He's gonna play against Everton. He's gonna play against Everton for the high.
Nah,
he can play against Cardiff in the League Cup.
Let him play against Cardiff, and if he cannot, bro, if Tosin is a reason I can't lift the trophy this season,
oh no,
I'm gonna be on some other ish when I go to London in January. I'm just telling you, people. I'm gonna have a different mission.
You know, yeah. I'll go.
Keep saying what you're saying, man.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you when you.
All right, we'll meet up, and then we're gonna have to.
I just want to
take
say
care of business.
I'm not an accomplice to whatever it is they're gonna.
It's fine. I am the accomplice. It's me, Tosin Adarbayo. It's Mission Impossible. If you cost me the Carabao Cup, it's Mission Impossible, bro. All I'm saying, man. I'll take a train. I'll ride the roof of a train, bro. I'll jump off a helicopter if it means you cost me that goddamn cup, bro.
Yeah, Marshall saying he'll take a train is crazy. Anyways, Tosin's playing against Everton for the high. You know that.
Now we'll lose that if he plays. We'll lose it.
Starting against
Cardiff.
Everton. Yeah. Also, the Cardiff game. Don't they have Robinson? Is it Callum Robinson or something?
Is he
the guy
still
who
there?
played for
West Brom.
West Brom when he scored against us with Lampard. Was
No,
in
not
like
that
2019
guy.
or something.
He can't be. I have no idea.
No way,
I think he plays
bro.
for them. Yeah. So if he's playing up against
Can't even see
Tosin,
the lineup. That's crazy. Right.
Oh, they also
show me
wait.
the
Do they also
lineup.
have Kellyman too? Or is it a different Kellyman?
They have Kellyman, but he's not allowed to play against us.
Lovely.
He's a lone player.
Also, I'm assuming it's still gonna be Sanchez. I don't think Maresca.
Callum Robinson. Motherfucker. Yes, that's
Yes.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
long
that team.
day.
Yeah.
He was
day.
dead, bro. If he wanted
Yeah.
you gone, he would do it by himself on feet by himself.
Bro, he was
Yeah.
he would turn into R9 against us, dog. No, thank you. Please. No, let those days be behind us, please. We don't need any West Brom PTSD.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, CFC for life. What did you think about the Bournemouth game? Win, lose, draw?
A narrow win.
Okay. I'm gonna say we're gonna win. I think we're fine. I think the key is gonna be defenders. If Tosin's in that lineup, remember this conversation because then I'll have to retract it. Because yeah, if Tosin's in that lineup, we ain't winning. I'm just saying right now, we ain't winning. But I think we'll have Fofana back by then. I think he'll keep everything calm. I think we'll still have offensive issues, mind you, CFC, because you brought it up as well.
Yeah.
I think we'll still have some offensive issues, but we should be able to score enough goals to win it and keep a clean sheet or keep the goal count low.
Well, the good thing is
I think we'll win.
The good thing is Bournemouth are bad defensively, but I mean, so are Leeds, so I guess that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, it's just Tosin. Tosin's a weak link here, people. He really turns us into a championship defense when he's in the lineup. It's crazy.
No. Tosin played. No Caicedo. No Reese. No nothing.
If Fofana's in that lineup, I'm okay with Santos, playing in that team, and we'll also have Cole, so Enzo won't have to, bear all the responsibility of being the creative 10 as well. I do think Cole starts that game, and maybe gets subbed off for like 60 minutes or something like that. At 60 minutes, I should say, or even at halftime, maybe. Who knows? But I think having Cole back in the lineup is going to be a big game changer, and I think it will help us with some of the consistency issues we've been having, because although Cole is Cole, he has won true trophies with us at Chelsea. He's been responsible for those trophies in the finals. I think he gets the mentality. I think he knows what it takes to, like, what level you need to be at to, like, perform.
And then
at this,
question,
at this
guys,
team.
who do you guys think should start striker for this game?
I think you got to give. Well, you don't have to. I think you give Delap another chance. This time with Cole, though. Because if you get Delap in a good position, if you can just make sure he's on target, I think we'll be all right. If not, you have João Pedro on the bench, or Guiu if you want to take off Cole and put on João Pedro for sake of recovery minutes and all that. So that's my thoughts. I don't know about the rest of you guys. And we'll close it out after this.
What? Who starts tomorrow?
No. In terms of striker, yeah.
I'll go with the lap. He needs to show us something now.
Yeah. I agree. What about you, Prime?
Who starts at striker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marshall, get your boots on, bro.
Ha.
At this point, you might as well get rid of,
bro. My
yeah.
T90
Have you played football before? No. Did you play striker?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You play
I
striker?
have played a little bit of striker.
Can
I'm
you
a better
run
defender
about?
than I am a striker.
You have a first touch.
I could probably do what Tosin should have did yesterday. Yes.
But I'm talking about striker.
Sure. Yes. I'll at least pass it to someone, so I don't have to be the one responsible for breaking down our play.
My pick is Marshall starts.
Okay. What about? Okay, I just picked up a knock literally in front of you. It was that quick. I'm injured. I can't play. Who plays for Chelsea? Yeah, my ankle's twisted. I just hit my pain. Twisted up my ankle. Like Pedro Porro's ankle got twisted against who the fuck was that this season? Pedro Porro got turned into a pretzel. I forgot who it was. Who turned him into a pretzel? Was it Martinelli? I think it was Martinelli. Imagine getting cooked by Martinelli in 2025, bro.
I mean, ask Manuel Neuer.
I don't like. Do you start Palmer and Delap? They both just come back from injury, though. You start them both.
Palmer played 30 minutes. I reckon Palmer has been ready to play, barring the toe injury, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do you start both him and Delap, who have both come back from injury?
I do think Palmer starts. So assuming Palmer starts, who is your striker? Yes, go for it. Go for that.
I don't like.
All right, you could have just told me I don't know like 10 minutes ago. It's okay.
I don't. That's why I said I'd rather have you start, Marshall.
Okay, that's fair. I'll start then, even with injury. I'll just put a special boot on like Cole. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to wrap it up here. Big up to every single one of you. Thank you for joining in on the call-in show, SKFC and TFC for life. If you guys want to call in and have your say and talk Chelsea, you're more than welcome to. I do these call-in shows in the beginning. It's usually on the first Wednesday of each month, but because we had a Wednesday game yesterday, I figured I'd just push it to Thursday instead of postponing it till next Wednesday when we have Atalanta on Tuesday, but then Wednesday I'll probably use that for a Casually Chelsea show because we need to catch up on stuff, people. So yeah, be sure to tune in if you want to do the call-in show every first week of the month, as usually when I do them. So if you want to ever come on and have your say and chit chat with us and, you know, give anyone like Ahmed a piece of your mind, you're more than welcome to. I do provide that platform. But regardless of that, big up to every single one of you guys in the chat. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. If you also are interested in other content, be sure to check out the links in the description. There's plenty of other stuff on there, including my music, as well as my other content, other channels, and all that stuff. Also, if you have the means to and are interested in maybe a little bit of a upgraded experience here on Casually FC, memberships, there's 4 different tiers starting at 99p that give you different emojis, all different types of perks, and we're only going to try to improve on these perks and all that stuff and the memberships as the channel grows. So be sure to keep the channel growing as well. But if you are a proper casual and higher tier member, you get shout outs at the end of every show, and that's going to go out to Onrav, John B 3504, Gabriel Mejia, Ish 462, Hater Wakas, JC, Dark, Lanre Sadiq, A Soliman, EE, and Adrian. Big up to you guys for your support as always, and big up to everyone else as well for the support at the entry level tier as well. So we won't be raiding out to anyone, no raid message. We're just gonna call it right here, ladies and gents. We'll see you again for the Bournemouth reaction, which will be Saturday 10 UK time unless something happens. But we'll see you again then. And until then, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Stay casual and peace.